What if you could reduce the most dangerous fat in your body by 33% in just 8 weeks? Not through extreme dieting, but through strategic nutritional timing and scientifically proven food choices. Visceral fat, the hidden fat wrapped around your internal organs, silently increases your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and metabolic disorders. Unlike subcutaneous fat beneath your skin, visceral fat actively produces inflammatory compounds that disrupt your metabolism. Today, you'll discover 5 evidence-based strategies that work together to create a powerful visceral fat reduction system. These are peer-reviewed, clinically validated approaches that have helped thousands reclaim their health. You'll get a complete blueprint, including 3 practical meals that bring all 5 strategies together.
The foundation of this entire system is time-restricted eating, specifically the 16-8 protocol. This means you consume all your daily food within an 8-hour window and fast for the remaining 16 hours. Before dismissing this as too restrictive, consider that 8 to 10 of those fasting hours happen while you're sleeping. This isn't about deprivation or extreme calorie cutting. It's about strategic meal timing that fundamentally changes how your body accesses and utilizes stored energy. Recent comprehensive meta-analyses examining hundreds of participants across multiple studies have revealed something remarkable about this approach. Time-restricted feeding, particularly the 16-8 model, produced significant reductions in visceral adipose compartment, ranging from 11 to 27% in overweight and obese subjects over study periods lasting anywhere from 5 to 48 weeks. What makes these findings especially compelling is that participants didn't necessarily change what they ate or how much they consumed, only when they ate it. The mechanism behind this effect centers on insulin, your body's primary fat storage hormone. Every time you eat, regardless of what you consume, insulin rises to help transport nutrients into cells for storage or immediate use. When insulin is elevated, your body remains in storage mode rather than burning mode, making it virtually impossible to access stored fat for energy. Extended fasting windows keep insulin levels suppressed for longer periods throughout each day, forcing your body to tap into stored energy reserves. Research demonstrates that during these extended fasting states, the body preferentially mobilizes visceral fat stores surrounding your internal organs. Your metabolism literally has no choice but to burn the dangerous fat around your organs when glucose from recent meals becomes unavailable. This hormonal shift is precisely why time-restricted eating works so effectively for visceral fat specifically, rather than just general weight loss. Multiple studies have tracked this phenomenon through advanced imaging technology, showing that while total body weight may decrease modestly, the proportion of that weight loss coming from visceral fat adipose is disproportionately high compared to subcutaneous fat loss. The beauty of this approach lies in its remarkable simplicity and long-term sustainability. Participants in research studies consistently rate 16-8 fasting as 9 out of 10 for ease of adherence and implementation. Unlike complicated meal plans or highly restrictive food lists that eliminate entire categories, you're simply compressing your daily eating window into 8 consecutive hours. Most people accomplish this by skipping breakfast and eating their first meal around noon, then finishing their final meal by 8 in the evening. If your goals extend beyond visceral fat reduction alone to overall body fat loss and achieving a lean, defined physique, pair your 16-8 fasting window with a moderate caloric deficit of 20 to 25% below maintenance. The fasting protocol optimizes your hormonal environment for fat burning, while the caloric deficit creates the necessary energy imbalance for comprehensive fat loss. Together, these 2 complementary elements create a powerful metabolic advantage that neither strategy produces independently.
Protein pacing means strategically distributing protein throughout your eating window, and it's the second pillar of visceral fat reduction. While most people understand protein helps build muscle, what's often overlooked is protein's unique effect on visceral fat that extends far beyond muscle preservation. A groundbreaking study published in the journal Obesity compared intermittent fasting combined with protein pacing against standard heart-healthy caloric restriction. Both groups consumed similar total weekly calories and expended similar energy through physical activity. The results were remarkable. The intermittent fasting with protein pacing group achieved a 33% reduction in visceral fat mass compared to just 14% in the caloric restriction group. That's more than double the visceral fat loss despite identical caloric intake. Why does protein distribution create such dramatic results? 3 interconnected mechanisms explain this. First, protein has the highest thermic effect of all macronutrients, meaning your body burns approximately 25 to 30% of protein calories just digesting and processing it, compared to 5 to 10% for carbohydrates and 0 to 3% for fats. This metabolic tax means eating protein literally raises your metabolic rate throughout the day. Second, protein triggers powerful satiety hormones, including peptide YY and glucagon-like peptide 1, which signal your brain that you're satisfied and full. This naturally reduces overall calorie intake without requiring conscious restriction or willpower, making dietary adherence significantly easier. Third, adequate protein intake during weight loss preserves lean muscle mass. When losing weight, your body doesn't automatically distinguish between fat and muscle tissue, it simply burns available tissue for energy. Sufficient protein intake signals your body to preserve muscle and preferentially oxidize fat stores instead. The practical recommendation requires consuming approximately 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight daily. For a 170-pound individual, that translates to 170 grams of protein each day. This might seem substantial if you're accustomed to carbohydrate-heavy meals, but it's entirely achievable with proper planning and food selection. High-quality protein sources include chicken breast, turkey, wild-caught salmon, grass-fed beef, whole eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and whey protein powder. The critical element is protein pacing, meaning you distribute this protein across your meals rather than consuming most in a single sitting. If you're eating 2 meals within your 8-hour window, aim for roughly half your protein at each meal. If eating 3 meals, divide it into thirds. This consistent protein delivery throughout your eating window maintains elevated metabolic rate, stabilizes blood sugar levels, prevents energy crashes, and continuously signals your body to preserve muscle while burning fat stores. Each meal becomes anchored by substantial protein, creating a daily metabolic rhythm that progressively reduces visceral fat while maintaining or even building metabolic-supporting lean tissue.
Before we continue exploring the remaining strategies, I want to take a moment to connect with you. If you're watching this video right now, there's a reason you clicked. Maybe you've struggled with stubborn belly fat for years, despite trying countless diets. Maybe you're concerned about your metabolic health and want to take control before problems develop. Maybe you've been confused by contradictory information flooding the wellness industry. Whatever brought you here, you're in the right place. This community is built on science-backed information that actually works. I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our evidence-based health content. Drop a comment below letting me know where you're watching from and what your biggest challenge has been with losing weight. Are you struggling with consistency? Dealing with cravings? Confused about what actually works? Your feedback helps us create the content you need most. Let's continue with the remaining 3 powerful strategies. The third strategy introduces what nutrition researchers call the fat loss multiplier effect, polyphenols. These are natural plant compounds that do far more than simply provide antioxidant protection. They fundamentally reprogram how your body processes and stores fat at the cellular level, creating lasting metabolic improvements. The richest dietary sources of these powerful compounds include all varieties of berries, such as blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries, tree nuts like walnuts and pecans, pomegranates, red onions and shallots, dark leafy greens including spinach and kale, and high-quality green tea. When you strategically incorporate these polyphenol-rich foods into your daily meals, profound changes occur within your adipose tissue. Two specific polyphenols deserve particular attention for their remarkable metabolic effects. The first is urolithin A, a specialized compound that your gut bacteria produce when you regularly consume walnuts and pomegranates. This metabolite has demonstrated the ability to help convert white adipose tissue, which primarily stores energy as fat, into brown adipose tissue, which burns energy to produce heat in a process called thermogenesis. This transformation represents a paradigm shift in how we understand body composition. Instead of simply reducing existing fat stores through diet and exercise, you're actually transforming the type and function of fat tissue in your body to make it metabolically active and continuously calorie-consuming, even at rest. The implications extend far beyond simple weight loss to fundamental improvements in overall metabolic health. The second key polyphenol is quercetin, found abundantly in red onions, apples, and various berry varieties. Extensive research has established that quercetin significantly improves insulin sensitivity at the cellular level and simultaneously reduces chronic low-grade inflammation throughout the body. Both of these effects directly combat the primary drivers of visceral fat accumulation and metabolic dysfunction. When your cells become more sensitive to insulin signaling, they respond more efficiently to this crucial hormone, meaning your body doesn't need to produce excessive amounts circulating in your bloodstream. Lower circulating insulin levels translate directly to less active fat storage and more efficient fat mobilization for energy. Simultaneously, reducing systemic inflammation addresses one of the root causes of metabolic dysfunction and disease progression. Visceral fat tissue itself actively secretes inflammatory compounds called adipokines that create a self-perpetuating destructive cycle. The more visceral fat you carry, the more inflammation you generate, which in turn makes storing additional visceral fat progressively easier over time. Polyphenols interrupt and reverse this vicious cycle at multiple points. What makes polyphenols truly remarkable is their powerful synergistic effect when combined with other nutritional strategies. A landmark study published in the journal Nature Metabolism examined what happened when probiotic supplementation was paired with polyphenol-rich berries in participants' diets. The results showed visceral fat loss more than doubled compared to using either strategy independently. This multiplication effect occurs because polyphenols actively support beneficial gut bacteria populations, and those bacteria in turn metabolize dietary polyphenols into even more powerful bioactive compounds through fermentation. It's a beautiful symbiotic partnership between the food you consume and the trillions of beneficial microorganisms living throughout your digestive tract.
Omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, deserve attention for their fat metabolism role. Found primarily in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and anchovies, plus smaller amounts in chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts, at cellular level, omega-3s integrate into fat cell membranes, changing their physical properties. They increase membrane fluidity, so when your body signals fat cells to release energy, cells respond efficiently. This matters because stubborn visceral fat often resists mobilization. Research shows omega-3 supplementation with calorie-controlled diets enhanced abdominal fat loss versus calorie control alone. One study found omega-3 supplementation augmented abdominal fat mass reduction in overweight individuals on weight loss diets. Certain nutrients create permissive metabolic conditions, allowing other strategies to work better. Omega-3s optimize the environment for fat burning. Beyond fat cell responsiveness, omega-3s manage inflammation. Visceral fat secretes inflammatory mediators, disrupting insulin signaling and promoting fat storage. Omega-3s produce specialized pro-resolving mediators that actively resolve inflammation, addressing root causes. Consume fatty fish 3 to 4 times weekly, providing 2 to 3 grams combined EPA and DHA daily. If not eating fish regularly, high-quality fish oil or algae-based supplements work.
Green tea contains catechins, with the most potent being epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG. Controlled clinical trials using CT scans provide compelling evidence. A 12-week trial examined participants consuming catechin-enriched green tea daily. CT imaging measuring visceral fat documented significant reductions in visceral adipose tissue area. Another study using abdominal CT found that green tea containing 583 milligrams catechins daily led to greater visceral fat area decreases versus control. EGCG inhibits an enzyme called catechol-O-methylide transferase that breaks down norepinephrine, a hormone signaling fat cells to break down stored fat. By slowing norepinephrine degradation, EGCG increases duration and intensity of fat-burning signals. Additionally, catechins enhance fat oxidation during rest and exercise. Metabolic chamber studies show green tea shifts metabolism toward burning fat for energy. Aim for 3 to 4 cups daily, spacing between meals, not with food. Milk proteins bind catechins, reducing absorption up to 87%. Drink plain or with lemon juice, since vitamin C stabilizes catechins and improves absorption. Optimal timing is 30 minutes before meals or 2 hours after. Decaffeinated green tea retains beneficial catechins while removing 90% caffeine. Here are 3 specific meals incorporating every principle discussed. Meal 1. Berry Yogurt Protein Bowl. 200 grams low-fat Greek yogurt, providing 20 grams protein, plus Lactobacillus plantarum. 100 grams mixed fresh berries for polyphenols. 30 grams rolled oats for prebiotic fiber, 10 grams chia seeds for omega-3s, 20 grams walnuts for urolithin A precursors, 1 scoop whey protein, optional honey drizzle. Totals: 50 grams protein, 50 grams carbs, 15 grams fat, 510 calories. Meal 2. Air-fried chicken sweet potato bowl. 250 grams cubed chicken breast, air-fried 360 degrees for 10 minutes, providing 60 grams protein. 150 grams cubed sweet potato with 5 milliliters olive oil, air-fried 400 degrees, 8 minutes. 150 grams fresh spinach. 50 grams kimchi for probiotics. 10 milliliters extra virgin olive oil. Totals: 70 grams protein, 45 grams carbs, 15 grams fat, 595 calories. Meal 3. Salmon rice stir-fry. 200 grams wild salmon, air-fried 400 degrees, 8 minutes, for omega-3s and 40 grams protein. 80 grams cooked brown rice, 150 grams broccoli for sulforaphane, 50 grams diced red onion for quercetin, 10 milliliters low-sodium soy sauce. Totals: 54 grams protein, 33 grams carbs, 27 grams fat, 579 calories. Total daily: 174 grams protein, 128 grams carbs, 57 grams fat, 1,700 calories.
What makes this powerful is synergy between all 5 strategies. Time-restricted eating creates optimal hormonal environment with extended low insulin periods. Protein pacing preserves muscle and elevates metabolic rate. Polyphenols reprogram fat cells and support gut bacteria, producing bioactive compounds. Omega-3s make fat cells responsive to mobilization signals and resolve inflammation. Green tea catechins enhance fat oxidation and prolong fat-burning hormone activity. Together, they address visceral fat from multiple angles simultaneously. Consider daily implementation. Wake after 12 to 14-hour fast with low insulin, elevated growth hormone, active fat burning. Break fast with berry yogurt bowl, flooding your system with probiotics, polyphenols, protein, and omega-3s. Metabolism elevates from protein's thermic effect. Blood sugar stays stable. Hours later, second meal continues protein support. Kimchi delivers bacteria producing short-chain fatty acids, improving insulin sensitivity. Throughout afternoon, sip green tea, elevating catechin levels. Final meal provides salmon with omega-3s working overnight, resolving inflammation. Brown rice and broccoli feed gut bacteria. Then enter overnight fast again, creating daily rhythm, progressively reducing visceral fat while maintaining muscle and energy. We've covered 5 science-backed strategies targeting visceral fat and 3 practical meals bringing them together. The beauty lies in simplicity once you understand principles. You don't need exotic ingredients or complicated preparation. You don't need to eliminate food groups or endure constant hunger. You simply implement these strategic choices consistently. If you found this information valuable, please type yes in the comments. Knowing this helps real people motivates us to produce more science-backed videos. Your feedback shapes content we create. Hit that like button to help this reach more people struggling with visceral fat and metabolic health. Share this with someone who could benefit. Subscribe and turn on notifications for upcoming content. We're committed to evidence-based health strategies that work, cutting through wellness industry confusion. Thank you for investing time in your health today. The most dangerous fat in your body is also most responsive to right nutritional strategies. You have everything needed to start making changes immediately.